Hola. Hey everyone. It's Yvonne Emila Lizondo again. I hope everyone is having a amazing weekend, and it's really foggy over here where I'm at. So I had to do a little bit of like lighting work to the camera to at least get a semi-good picture. Again, I'm not a professional, just kind of do this on my home basic laptop. But anyhow, so if it's a little grainy, I apologize. Um, or maybe if I look really good, kind of liking this lighting. Anyways, I hope everyone's having a really good weekend. I wanted to take the time to just kind of dive into the astrology for the week of Sunday the 24th, which is today, all the way to Saturday the 30th. Okay, so there's not a whole bunch going on in the astrology per se. Most of the activations are going to be based, on moon movement, right? The moon takes about 28 and a half days to go around the zodiac. So, and that's an activator, kind of sparks everything, gets everything going. But I do want to just talk about a few points this week. It doesn't look nearly as challenging or potentially like as the last 3 weeks. So that's a positive, but we still are in the rebuilding phase, right? We're just starting the rebuilding phase. And so, that in of itself can present like different experiences. All right, so the first, I'm going to share my screen. The very first day I want us to really dive into is today, okay, Sunday. There's this one particular placement that I think we definitely need to be aware of. So this right here, this is Uranus and Mars, right? Uranus is sudden change, Mars is action. Again, anything red in my chart means like they're kung fu fighting. They're not really getting along. They're abrasively trying to communicate. And those two planets are pretty much squaring. We call that a square. It's a 90-degree angle squaring Saturn, which is rules, delays, going slow, Jupiter, which only enhances what Saturn is saying in at this particular time, because Saturn is the home of Aquarius. I said that totally backwards. Aquarius is the home of Saturn. And so Jupiter in Aquarius really has to do what Saturn says, right? So it's kind of Saturn's like, I'm the big brother. Jupiter's like, you're the little brother. You kind of have to do what I say. And the sun comes into a direct placement with all of this energy. So the sun is expressive, it's energy, it's like shining a light on. And so we may come across this week, some time where we actually begin to, take account for all of the actions that we've either manifested recently or have occurred around us. So now it's almost like a take note of and start to make plans for changes is really what we're looking at here. Okay. And it could definitely deal with like the finances, or anything within our value system. Could be our collective value system. And what I mean by the collective is like a lot of people, right? Could be national, could be regional, could even just be in your family. It could be you too. But the Taurus is about values and, finances. And it's really about taking accountability. Let's see where our actions have led us to up to this point. All right, so the other placement that I wanted to share with you for Sunday is this guy right here. This is Neptune in Pisces. Now, Neptune is at home in Pisces. And what it's doing is that you see these lines right here, it is martial arting, okay, in these two areas. Now, why is this important? Well, because let me undo this here. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. The reason that this is important, Neptune and Pisces is like, it's got two vibrations, right? Well, all planets and all zodiacs do, but the higher vibration of Neptune is like spiritual, right? And spiritual is not religious. Spiritual is working with your spirit, basically what it is, however you may, consider that. Uh, Neptune on a lower vibration or lower expression can make things really foggy, can make things not concrete. It is really the opposite of what Saturn does. Saturn creates boundaries, concreteness, and then Neptune is like, I'm just going to make everything gassy and foggy. And so when it's squaring those two points of the moon, it really is an opportunity for us to come across experiences that are almost telling us, look, if you're looking back, okay, and you're not really releasing what's no longer good for you, it's going to be very difficult to get a grasp on what's moving forward for you. So Neptune comes in and says, I'm going to make things foggy for you. You may not know exactly what you need to release, and you may not know exactly where you're moving forward, but I'm going to give you the sense of spirituality or inner wisdom or inner insight. And that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I want to optimize my PC. Nope, not at this time. Anyhow, I did it again. Okay, so that's the energy that we may be working with today. And it's crazy because up here in Central Texas, at least where I'm at right now, it's really foggy. It's almost, 11:30, and it's super, super foggy. And that's the epitome of like Neptune. Let's make things all very foggy. All right, the other placement that I wanted to work on, so that's Sunday. So now we're going to transition into Monday. And so I'm going to pull my screen up because I don't even know if we actually do a transition to Monday. Here we go. Okay, so Sunday is going to be a pretty easy one, right? We want to take a look at Wednesday, actually, because there's not a whole bunch going on necessarily in regards to, let me share my screen, in regards to a lot of the energy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and jump to Wednesday, because Wednesday we do start to notice some more of those themes coming up for the week. And what we have is we still have all of this going on. Like, this is the theme, Saturn and whoa, bad line. Saturn and Mars are going to continue to just do this for a really long time. So that's going to be the theme for a while. At least for the next, week or so, as far as the sun's concerned, right? The sun is expressive in Aquarius. It's really about how do we connect logistically? How do we use our energy in a manner that is going to be conducive to connecting the masses, right? Connecting a lot of people. And so that energy is really what we're going to be dealing with for a while. But what I want to focus on Wednesday is this. We have the moon. Again, the moon is an activator. The moon comes into Cancer, I think the day before, right? And the moon in Cancer is at home. It's like really, really, really strong. And it's opposing, right? It's tug of warring, okay? Venus and Pluto in Capricorn together. All right, so let's kind of stop and see what that really means. Okay, so for Wednesday, we may have the feeling, okay, that there is literally like a Cancer, that the Cancer moon is at home. So it has a natural tendency of wanting to, a lot of people use the word nurture, and nurture isn't just like, oh, let me take care of you, poor little thing, like that's not always nurture. Nurture is being aware of what's working for us and being aware of what's not working for us, being aware of what is making us feel better and being aware of what's not making us feel better. So it tends to be a very moody type of energy. So you may feel kind of the sway back and forth because it's literally taking accountability. And, I mean, look at the crab, right? The crab represents Cancer. The crab, if anybody has ever seen a crab move in a straight line, you got to let me know, because that doesn't happen, right? Crabs go bzz, 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 and that's how our emotions tend to flow. So Wednesday may be, taking accountability of where you are emotionally, where your family is emotionally, where your friends are emotionally, those people that you love to protect. That's Cancer, okay? And it's opposing Venus. Venus is love, connection, beauty, okay? It could also represent finances, but it comes together with Pluto, and Pluto is an intensification of that energy, okay? So, in Capricorn, again, Venus is that lady that's buttoned all the way to the top, saying, hey, you like my Canada? Peace, Canada. Okay. Anyways, it's buttoned all the way to the top. And so she's very practical. She's very rule oriented. She likes tradition. And here comes Pluto, and is probably either going to intensify that, right? So there may be this pull, this tug of war between what you're feeling and what you feel obligated to do in regards to connection with other people. It may, you know, manifest in really taking a look at those love interests or those connections, heart-based connections in your life, and, you know, determining whether they're sitting well with you or not. Do we need to shift something? Do we need to manifest something? So if you find yourself, you know, just kind of tug of warring with those people in your life on Wednesday, there you go. Now you know why. Okay, then I want to share with you what we're coming up to. Here we go. So now I'm sharing this with you, but now I'm going to move into Thursday because that was Thursday. Now take a look at what's going on Thursday. Thursday we have the full moon in Leo. Yes, it left Cancer and it's now transitioning, ingressing is the technical term, into Leo. All right. And of course, the full moon means that it is opposite the sun. Okay. But the sun is in a conjunction is together with Jupiter in Aquarius. Okay. So now we have the opposite, you know, things going on here. Things, for lack of a better, and Saturn's involved in there as well, because, you know, Saturn decides that it wants to just be a part of everything at this point. Okay, well, what does this mean? The full moon in Leo it's such a pretty energy, right? It's like when I had this conversation with one of my besties the other day, was that, you know, when you think of Leo, you think of me anyways, I think of like, I said it like that Magnus popsicle that has that really great chocolate, and then there's caramel underneath, and then there's ice cream, and it's so luxurious. That's Leo. That's the Leo energy on a higher vibration. Okay. Now the moon, okay, in Leo is going to really bring awareness to that part of your life, the part of your life that says, I need to find luxury. I need to find, and it's not always financial luxury, but it's where am I really tapping into that? Because that's what Leos do. They like to be in the spotlight. And I know some of you Leos from a very long time ago, won't name names, but that's how you are, right? It's like, I'm in the sun. Okay. That's really what you should be focusing on the full moon. The full moon in Leo is really about how you can help other people, what coaching you can do, how your enthusiasm really is exuded. It also could focus on, you know, you've been working since the new moon up to this point, and now you're going to release all of those intentions with a fire, but it's comfortable fire. It's not like explosive fire of Aries. It's comfortable fire. Okay. And then on the opposite end, because we have the sun and Jupiter makes everything bigger, right? So yeah, this could definitely be one of those, you know, moons that really highlights a lot of comfort and a lot of, you know, I keep coming back to the word luxurious ice cream, chocolate ice cream. Okay. But because Saturn is sitting on there, sitting relatively close to the sun and Jupiter, and Saturn is like, don't have too much fun because I'm the party pooper and you don't need to have all that much fun. So although we may feel like, oh, wow, enthusiastic and this is great, and we may come across like this soul kind of, wait, something's stopping me from stepping into who I really want to become. Okay. So that's it. And again, we're working with that Mars square Saturn the entire time. So just be aware of that, right? But that's the full moon. And then we step into, I totally lose my space every time I do this. So now I want to show you Friday. Okay. Because Friday, no, that's Sunday. Where's my Friday? There we go. All right. So after the full moon, we have this, let me share my screen. We have this new energy, right? It's the Leo full moon. I can't even find anything here. Like, hello. There's my ADD again. Okay. All right. So here's Friday. The one thing that I'm going to say about Friday is this. We have the lingering of the full moon, okay, which is great. But we still have this energy going on and this energy going on, right? Now, Mercury, the moon moves beyond its full moon point and it's still in Leo, right? So there's that, like Leo moons are like, oh, come love me, but I want you to love me my way. Okay. I don't want you no, I want you to love me my way. And it's opposing Mercury in Aquarius. Okay, all right, Mercury in Aquarius, Aquarius is an air sign. So let me stop sharing here. Aquarius is an earth sign. Back. Aquarius is an air sign, air, okay? It's not water. The glyph looks like it's water, but it's not water, it's air. And Mercury in an air sign tends to do pretty well. Now, towards the end of the week, which is actually, I think, on the 30th, yep, on the 30th, yes, on the 30th, Mercury turns retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, that's on Saturday. So what does this all mean? Okay, on Friday, when the moon is opposing Mercury in Aquarius, it's literally stationing, it's stopping, it's slowing down. So there's a great intensity on Mercury type of endeavors, which Mercury is the mind, it's thinking, it's messages. Mercury retrograde is already affecting my mouth, and it hasn't even started retrograde. Anyways, Mercury retrograde, okay, is an internalization of that energy. So in Aquarius, it's going to be highly in here in the mind. Okay, so there may be some overthinking, over worry, over analyzing. Okay, and not feeling necessarily very comfortable. Right, the moon and Leo is like, I want you to love me my way, and then Mercury's like, no, but I've got all of these plans up here. And so there may be a battle between, you know, the feeling and expressing those feelings, okay, and stepping into that luxurious, and, you know, type of energy versus a more, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to take account for everything. And Mercury's just kind of going like this, stop, station, right? So on Saturday, it only enhances that. And then on Saturday, we have officially Mercury in retrograde. So let me pull that up. And here we go. All right, oops, there it is. Okay, and we have, let me get my, okay, it's stationing right here, and it is about to go retrograde, okay? So, all right, what does this mean? Well, you don't need to look at the top of my head while I look at this, but essentially what we're doing is that we are, yep, and that is on the 30th, okay? We are telling ourselves we have to focus on the internalization of all of those crazy thoughts that we just had that were activated by the full moon. Now, let me just double check something here because I don't want to. Yes, okay. So Mercury retrograde occurs on the 30th, okay, here in the States. It stations, and then really it stations on the 30th and then moves into retrograde, okay? So anyhow, again, what does Mercury retrograde mean for, you know, this time around? Well, it's in an air sign, which means that anything technological communication, and again, Mercury retrograde is, you know, we tend to experience like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde, it's gonna like, frizz us out. It might, but it might not. So just be prepared. Anything technological communication wise, people say don't sign contracts during a Mercury retrograde. That's because typos can happen, and if we don't read them correctly, you know, but you got to move through life through Mercury retrograde, right? Like you can't just stop living because Mercury retrograde's around. So just be extra cautious and just know that technological communication, writing issues, even group issues, anything dealing with like groups of people, okay, I would not be surprised if you have a group of people on Zoom and then, you know, there goes the internet connection. That's kind of Mercury retrograde stuff that we're looking at. But it really is about the mind. It really is about logistics. So anything logistical, you know, just be prepared, have plan B. And that's pretty much it. So that takes us from today, Neptune foggy kind of, to Mercury retrograde at the end of the week. All right, all. If you want to learn more about your astrology, go ahead and visit me at spiritualessence.com. That's spiritual-essence.com. And, you know, blessed be. Have a great week. Bye.